This is a catastrophe. I shit myself.
So, hey, Frankie Valli, he gets the people going.
That's just too many points.
I was like, hey, Gabe, how's it going? I love your work.
Dudes on the Mall is the podcast to listen to.
Week 5 of Dudes on the Mall. We are back like the Mayan Empire. Wow, everyone's talking about the Roman Empire right now. I think everyone forgets that the Mayans were the superior empire.
All right, Mayans and Romans, who you taking in a war?
Mayans.
Mayans?
Yeah.
Why?
I feel like they just had a little bit more like of that it factor to them. They lived in the jungle. They weren't as
They passed
civilized.
the eye test is what he's saying.
Yeah, they passed the eye test.
All the gears turning in Brandon's head before we started this. No shot in hell I thought this is how this was going to go.
It was either going to be that or it was going to be that Taylor Swift likes ranch with her chicken nuggets, which is, national news. It makes the front page.
And Travis Kelce's NFL career is now over. So
Yeah, effectively.
Effective immediately.
coming off of a loss to Kansas State this past week. You got something, Josh?
I'm just saying that's a fat L.
Oh, fat L. You're L. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
correct.
that's right. I don't know why I looked
This
off.
is how bad we're starting. This game affected us so much. We are just so
Turn it off already.
There was a roller coaster of emotions before this game. Actually, before I get into it, because it could happen any moment, we are back live this week. The over-under for the flag falling off the wall is set at 3.5.
over.
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 All right.
It's not going to fall once.
Be pissed.
So, I hear the tape rolling. Anyway, off of a loss to K-State, I think all three of us went through a huge roller coaster of emotions that game. We watched it at my house. First half, honestly, went probably just about as well as we could ask for. Just a couple of small mistakes. Third quarter, still going well, and then it all started to go downhill fourth quarter amongst other reoccurring issues we had the whole game.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to take away from this game, and we'll get into it in a little bit, but the biggest takeaway for me is that everything that happened in this game was totally self-inflicted, and we could have won this game if it had played out, better, obviously. I mean, that's a stupid way to
Really?
put it.
Wow.
But you know what I mean? Like if we
insight.
had played our hand better, we win this game. I'm not going to say easily. That was a tough game against the reigning Big 12 champs, but we could have come away with a win there, and we probably should have, but all I'll take away from this game is that we can hang with anybody in the conference, and I'm very confident in saying that.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I think the story of the game is we lost that game to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Like we lost to Kansas State. They played, a full 4 quarters of football, which is something, we're not really used to playing all these group of. We played 3. And essentially we lost the game to us because because the physical attributes, everything physically was great. It was strong through 3 full quarters. And then the mental aspect, we just crumbled. And everything just followed right after that. So that was my takeaway. My big, just overall general takeaway was that we beat ourselves.
I think it's a good learning lesson for our team. Like, we don't have experience going to road games like that frequently, and that's going to become a regular thing now. And I think that the crowd was starting to feed into their head a little bit in the fourth quarter. Obviously, we couldn't stop the run the whole game, which didn't help. I mean, not even the run. We just couldn't stop Giddens. That's the only guy we could stop.
This was UCF versus Giddens.
Literally.
That's what this game was.
Giddens had
38 for 293, right? I think that's what I saw.
293. I was going to pull up here real quick what Kansas State had total on offense just to show like what percent that he made up for.
Yeah, I thought I saw a stat, and it was like, I know they ran over 80 plays. I remember seeing that graphic at the end of the game.
I'm looking for the...
I thought I saw a thing on Twitter. He had like not just carries, but like 38 total touches, receptions, everything, and like almost 300 yards. That's
total yards. They put up 536, and he had 300 of those 536.
Yeah.
Like
so,
that
hats off
tells,
to that guy.
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
he played a great game. Not even their starter.
That's MVP right there.
Hats off to that guy. But that's like another big takeaway. It's like we've been talking about it every week for what feels like an eternity, well beyond this season. Sloppy tackling, sloppy tackling, sloppy tackling. doesn't get much worse than it did on Saturday.
Well, I tell you what, they did give us, for some of those plays, they did give us hope. There were a couple of great open field tackles that we saw, but then it was just back to the same old that we've seen for the past 3 years. So, I mean, it's just a matter of getting over that hump, and it feels like we just haven't gotten over that yet.
Yeah.
That little hump is the difference between losing these, I would say, a stupid loss versus beating a Big 12 opponent.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like we were even, personally, I don't think we were getting that beat in the trenches.
No.
I thought our D-line held up with their O-line fine.
We got pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, fine enough at least to be able to, subdue the run, but we just couldn't come away with the tackle.
Like you said at the beginning, we could hang.
Yeah, exactly.
We could 100%
Our positioning
hang.
was there, it was a good battle in there, but that was shifty. I mean, that's
real shifty.
He'd get outside. We weren't stopping him once he got outside.
Yeah. So.
Game notes.
Yeah. We'll start on the offensive side of the ball, I guess. We touched on defense a little bit, obviously, but Timmy. It's not Himmy anymore. It's Timmy. We saw.
It's about the Tim A. a little bit.
We saw the real Timmy McClain today. We said it last week. It was very much like he looked great, but very much an inferior opponent.
Yeah.
So it was kind of hard to, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. Today we saw this weekend we saw the real Timmy, and he made some god awful decisions. My favorite, I mean, everybody was talking about it on Twitter, but little backstory. If you don't know, I'm a Steelers fan. The Monday night game against the Browns, the kickoff, what is it, Gunner or whoever, the former Patriot that caught the kickoff and toe tapped inside the 10 instead of letting the ball go out of bounds. I said that was the most boneheaded play I've ever seen in my life. And then not 5 days later, Timmy McClain beat it by taking a 12-yard sack, running out of bounds on his own power, rather than throwing the ball away.
And he had a ton of time.
A ton of time. He had all I vividly remember. Yeah, I vividly remember at the beginning of the play. I think I said it out loud to you, Brandon. I was like, "He's got all day. He's got all day." And I don't know if it's just our receivers weren't getting open or what, and that's still his fault because even if they're not getting open, throw the damn ball away. That
was rough.
Dude,
that was rough.
Dude, I mean, and he just kept doing it after that. There were minimum 3 plays after that where he took either a sack or just a no yard gain or whatever instead of just throwing the ball away or getting pressured. It was dumb. But positively on the offensive side of the ball, Kobe Hudson is that guy.
Kobe Hudson, wide receiver 1.
Wide receiver 1. We talked about it last week. I posed the question: is Kobe Hudson wide receiver 1? Confirmed. Kobe Hudson is wide receiver 1. Was it 3 weeks in a row now? First UCF receiver since God knows how
99.
long. 99. To have 300-yard receiving games.
Which that's actually shocking to me.
Crazy.
Considering the talent we've produced even in the past 7 years.
Yeah. And to be fair, most of his yards came on big plays, but
We're throwing the ball
whatever works,
downfield.
man.
Whatever works,
hey,
right?
the stats don't lie.
yeah. And our run game looked good too. RJ Harvey looked okay, but
Dog.
I almost I should have tweeted this. I finally, how the Kevin James meme with the this that's going around.
It.
I figured one out and then I didn't tweet it, but it was I forget how I was going to word it, but something along the lines of 1st and 10, first play of the drive, RJ Harvey and the Wildcat, get a few yards up the middle, and then Darren Henshaw, RJ Harvey throws it. It was just enough with the trick plays, run the damn ball. You know what I mean? So. But he looked good. Johnny looked amazing. So, yeah.
I think it's just small things to fix. Those are all things that we can fix. There's nothing that happened in that game that was really outside of our control. I mean, tackling you can improve upon. Decision making at the quarterback spot can improve upon. We just beat ourselves. The penalties, easy stuff to clean up. The turning point of the game after he stepped out of bounds was the 3 penalties that gave K-State first downs on the same drive.
All on third down.
All on third down. We couldn't get off the field. And we had stopped them too.
Yep.
And then just can't get off the field. And that was the turning point. I will say, some people might not like it. I like the garbage time touchdown that we put up. Because that game was a lot closer than what the score said. Mm. And if you look at it now, just eye test, it looks better than what it would have been. But
I agree.
I respect Gus for calling the timeout to get the touchdown.
Well, that's where I was going to actually go next is I'm going to, bust on the coaches for a little bit, but pause. But the game management was horrible, and the number one play besides Timmy's, sack that pissed me off was it was 4th and 20 2 minutes left or something like that. Everybody had left at this point, I think,
Yeah.
or whatever. And instead of punting the ball, we go for it, and Timmy does another don't throw the ball away, scramble for like a yard past the line of scrimmage. They get the ball in the 30 and then
they
score. And I was
really
like,
quick.
it went from this is a close game to blowout. So I'm glad that we got that last touchdown to kind of make it back to where it should have been. But yeah, that one pissed me off, and just the management of this game was horrible. Back to the drive where Timmy took that 12-yard sack. We took 2 delays of game on that drive, and it was like, oh, we're trying to save the timeouts, whatever. We basically left the game with all 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
Like use the timeouts. That's what they're there for. You can't take them home with you. So just horrible game management, clock management. The play calling was okay, but I don't know.
I thought the play calling was decent.
Yeah.
I mean, we threw the ball downfield consistently, and it looked good. Like, I think Timmy really, his one bad pass was that pick he threw at the end of the second quarter, in which I see what he was trying to do, but in that case, just take the sack or throw it away.
Yeah, I chalked that one up to he was on the run. He was trying to hit.
The guy was open.
It was
he was.
right?
He was trying to throw it across his body.
He was trying to throw across
He
his
just-
body, and as a lefty, trying to come back across, that ain't
Right.
gonna work.
That's
Yeah,
tough.
you got a little extra power on the run, so
Yeah.
I can understand that. It looked way worse than it actually was.
Yeah.
100%.
Because when he threw it, I think we all looked at each other like, "What was that?" And then after looking at the replay,
It's
I was
like, oh, he was
okay,
open.
He was open, and it was just a bad throw.
Yeah.
But I think all joking aside, I think everyone should be pretty not happy, but maybe inspired or feel good about that
We're
game.
fine.
Yeah.
I think that's the ultimate takeaway that everyone is. We're fine. Everything that happened in this game is, again, the mental aspect of it. It's not like I was hammering the point home last week, is fundamental football. Everything physically was there, but as soon as you lose your mind, that's it, because your mind is ultimately controlling everything. But again, we're fine. We can hang. We can do wonders when stuff's working, when everybody's clicking. We're fine.
Yeah. There's a lot to learn from the game. A lot, coaching wise and defensively. But it's gonna hurt. But this is one of those games where it's let it hurt for a day. We can't be overly pissed off at the team. We're fine. This is one of the games that we talked about at the beginning of the season that we're there's a good
This
chance
is
we
one of
lose
those
that
ones
game.
that were circled hey,
Right.
yeah.
We all projected 9-3 or
8-4,
ceiling 10-2,
9-3,
whatever.
10-2.
This was absolutely going to be one of those losses, and the fact that it could have been a win.
Makes me feel better.
Makes me feel good. I mean, I saw something today. I saw all the ESPN FPI for the rest of the
We're
year.
still top 25.
Yeah.
We're still top 20. We only have one more loss, and that's against Oklahoma, according to ESPN.
Yeah.
Every other game that we play should be a win. Some of them a little bit closer games than others, but we should hold our own in this first year. So I think we're fine.
Kansas, not to look ahead, but Kansas can be tough
That's
now on
gonna
the
be a
road.
good game.
It'd be a good game on the road.
Yep.
Outside of that, rest of the schedule,
It's not that great. We
West-
definitely got an easy.
we got an
Yeah,
easy
we
intro.
got it. Yeah.
All things
We don't have
considered.
Texas.
Yeah.
Well, that and I think West Virginia might be sneaky good. I think they're playing better than everyone thought they would.
agree.
And then just looking ahead, I mean, OK State's
Okay, State's
bad this year.
Bad.
Go
So
Pokes.
them, and then
Sad pew.
we still got we still got Houston, Cincinnati. So
Yeah.
we're fine. We're good. Moving ahead, you guys good for that game? Move ahead this week.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get out of that game.
Get out of
Let's leave it.
I'm just gonna leave it. The
Dude,
flag
I'm on
hasn't
the edge of
fallen
my
yet.
seat waiting for. If that's not keeping you on the edge of your seat, I don't know what
Well,
is.
I've heard it a couple times. The tape is slowly. I can hear it peeling off.
It's gonna
The
come
wall.
off at some point.
This is a long time for it.
I did give it a couple
Yeah.
extra pats when I put it up there. So.
See, now we got insider
I should have taken
football
the
here. We
under,
got
yeah.
inside baseball here.
Well, this week we've got Baylor at home. We have a change in the what did I say? Not the attendance, but I guess the attendance for the game. I don't know.
So do you guys remember last week when I said that I have no more trips scheduled, but as soon as I get back to Orlando, as soon as I touch down, I'm probably going to have something put on my calendar. Well, that happened.
Yeah.
So I will not be at the Baylor game, unfortunately, this weekend, which sucks because it's our first home Big 12 game. Big sad, especially against Baylor, the guys we beat back in 2014. the Fiesta Bowl. But B, we're gonna have to record virtually next week, and it's always sad
Didn't
for
even
the
think about
program.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either. Well, I unluckily was hoping for anything but 3:30, and we got 3:30. So I will be there for the first half. Roughly.
But you'll be there.
But I'll be there.
He's gonna
I will
make
be
it.
there. So I guess
That counts towards your attendance.
Yeah,
That counts. It
Yeah.
counts.
I'll give you
100%.
I made the tailgate for the last one. I've at least been on campus every game day.
Yes.
But, well, that'll be the new record.
I think the standard should be if you yourself scan your ticket and enter the stadium and see the field, you've attended that game.
No, that doesn't count. I need something a little bit more broad since I wasn't in the stadium for Villanova.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying for this week.
Oh, for this
this
week.
should count. 100%.
Okay.
Last
Okay,
week, no.
yeah,
We ain't giving you
yeah.
that shit last week.
I don't
No.
want to be out here promoting leaving early though.
Huh?
I don't want to be out here promoting leaving early.
You want to give me a new job?
No, I'm not saying I'm not knocking.
Yeah,
you. I'm
hey,
just saying
Brandon and I got a couple
Josh's
ideas.
Statement. Somebody might take that and just be like,
Okay, I know what you're getting
I can
at.
leave
That
early.
Yeah, no, that doesn't count.
you know, fourth
Yeah.
quarter we're
Here-
up by 30. I'm leaving. No.
I kind of did that a couple weeks ago. But that wasn't my fault. That was the freaking red guy where the TV timeouts is completely
It's gonna
unnecessary.
happen at
One!
We got
It's gonna happen at every game, Josh. You're gonna have to get.
God, I just got to drink more water.
Just gotta drink more water. It was late too.
It was very
Oh my
late.
god, that game.
All right, we got one. So we'll have somewhat of a normal game day. We'll be short one. For the first time this year, we will be on the mall. Don't know what spot we're in. The reservation
Kick
process.
a man while he's down.
The reservation process, it sold out literally in a minute.
Yeah.
On Sunday night.
Which is
is
normal.
Good. It's
That's normal.
good sign.
But it was different because like, I mean, I personally, I don't know about you, Brandon, because we've been on the mall since we graduated, but I haven't reserved a spot on the mall since we graduated. And this whole
I've
Eventbrite
done it.
thing.
So they did
Dude,
Eventbrite last year.
what's going on?
And
Right sucks.
There was one game where we used a student ID to get it. There was a couple where we did alumni. And my issue was I was already signed in and everything. It was asking me for a promo
Yeah.
code. And I didn't know there was a code.
Yeah.
And I just said, so I just kept trying to, I put alumni, I put Go Knights, I X'd out, went back in. It wouldn't let me do it without the promo code. So I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, it was asking me for the promo code too, but I just I thought it was like frozen, so I just kept refreshing, and eventually I got it. I don't know. It was weird.
I'm gonna have to ask him when we check in on Sunday.
Hmm.
But we're gonna be over. We're over under the trees near Garage D.
Oh, that's a good spot.
It's honestly nice in the shade.
Nice in the shade. I mean, the weather's been kind of nice in Florida anyway,
Yeah.
but
Still,
I think
that's still a great spot.
We're gonna inquire about moving if there's any that get canceled and are open.
yeah.
We'll see. But
Have fun, boys.
we'll pour one out for Josh.
Pour one out.
Nice, bright and early. I think I'll be in garage. What time do you want to get H?
9:30 the mall opens. Probably get there at 9. Get there nice and early. You want to
Might
get there
get
earlier?
like 8:45.
Just to see. All right,
Just
that's
to be-
fine.
Just
Not
to-
early enough.
Only
Why
thing
is that not
though.
early enough?
Well, Brandon said 8:45, not 9.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying 8:45 is not early enough. I was
No,
like,
no,
damn,
no,
let me
no.
get there at 7 a.m.
Only thing is,
Do it. You won't.
do we park in our normal spot or do we park in
Yeah.
the shade?
No, we park in our normal spot.
Okay.
Normal spot.
What are we getting old?
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Gotta reclaim that. We haven't parked there in a while.
I'm sure it'll still be
Well,
there.
we'll need Ashley to grab us some passes.
Yeah. Do I need to because they don't give them out in the union anymore, right?
No, they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so she'll get us some.
So we'll be out on the mall, normal-ish game day, but we will all be reunited on October the 28th
It's so long.
So long.
because that's our next home game.
I mean, we're at the mercy of the schedule.
We
at
are.
that point.
That's pretty wild. I feel like every year we have a ton in September and a ton in November, and October always has one. Every year it seems like.
Yeah. Well, I think was it 17? It was 17 or 18 that had 2 in October, and I felt like this is a lot.
I
So-
see. We have 3 in September.
We have
Yeah,
3.
in
I would rather have 2 in September and backload the schedule.
I agree.
I'd rather start the year with a couple on the road.
I agree.
But
we
we're all
only have 6 at home.
right. Yeah, we only have 6 home
The
games.
7
so
home games makes a huge difference.
So next year we should be at 7 because we'll get the 5
Yeah, 5
conference at
and 4,
home
yeah.
and 4 on the road.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Anything we're looking forward to Saturday?
Non-football related?
Is there something non-football related?
Well,
we're looking
I don't
forward
know, like the atmosphere, tailgating. I don't
to?
know.
Anything involving the game.
I'm excited.
I
for
would
the
like to see
soccer.
us play better and win. Tackling. Say it again.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's about it. Maybe use those timeouts.
Okay.
I would love to cheer for a timeout on Saturday. Would love to.
I don't care when we take it. Just take one.
You know what I'm excited to see is I'm excited to see how Baylor reacts to being at our house.
That's a good one.
I'm excited to see how they play, actually, because I know they're a little We'll say, we'll say That's you know what, a respectable is Baylor. But how do they react on the road in the bounce house for the first time as a conference game?
That's a good call. I'm curious to see how teams react being here because
Yeah.
it's a smaller stadium compared to what most of them are probably used to.
But it's louder.
But also teams that have played us in the past aren't really used to, since, I mean, obviously 2017, 2018 brought the popularity of us. It was skyrocketed, sold the season tickets out. So, like, even the change from, like, 10 years ago, it's drastically different. So how are they going to react to that atmosphere?
Well, when that stadium gets jumping and bouncing and everyone's stomping, I think it kind of scares some people, especially if you're not used to it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm actually, now that we talk about it, I'm excited to see how they travel as well.
That's a good one, too.
Because, like, you think about, you know, American teams and stuff like that. Like, they're good teams, but might not have as big of a following as some of these programs. Like, I mean, obviously, it was way back in the day, and Texas was a top 10 team. But think about that Texas game in 2007. There was so much orange in the stadium. So, like, it'll be interesting to see these big programs come here and see how many fans we get. Like, because we travel well, so I'm only going to imagine that they do too.
Stuff them in the corner, like we do everybody else. You sit in the corner, Baylor.
Think about what you did.
Think about what you did coming to our house.
The student section.
Yeah.
Game is sold out. I was looking earlier because I was curious. Get-in price before fees, $80. We've come a long ways, boys.
We're back.
$80 for a UCF game. I don't think I've ever seen. I'm sure it's maybe once or twice been like that, but that's something.
That's huge.
I will say Villanova, they had like $2, $3 tickets, but that's Villanova.
It's still sold out though.
It's still sold out.
Looking ahead this week, Baylor, their quarterback. Here, I think this is interesting.
Bum.
Well,
terrible.
Yes. Accurate.
You're welcome.
Through four games this year he's played in, has thrown for 647 yards. Timmy has played in 2 and threw 2 passes in one other game, and has thrown for 638.
Yep.
So, Timmy coming in 5 touchdowns, 1 pick. Baylor's quarterback 1 touchdown, 4 picks.
1 touchdown?
One passing touchdown.
So
1 singular touchdown.
Well, that might scare me a little bit. How does their run game?
Yeah, run heavy.
Their leading rusher, Richardson, 36 carries, 160 yards.
Okay.
That's not going to get confusing at all.
Well,
Richardson,
the running back.
For reference, our Richardson has an additional 3 carries to make that 39 and has 289 rushing yards. So he's got a little bit of a head start over him. And their leading receiver, 13 catches for 223.
All right. Never mind. Not scared about the run game anymore.
So
I think we're
averages for the game, passing 265, rushing 139. And then on defense, they're giving up 204 through the air and 171 on the ground.
Yeah. I don't want to get too cocky because we technically have not won a conference game yet. Not technically, we haven't won a conference game yet. This one should be easy.
Don't say that.
Knock on wood.
Don't say
Let
that.
me reach for the...
That's for Micah.
Huh?
That's for Micah. It's not wood.
Back here.
That's wood behind
wood?
you. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
I thought you were saying that is
I was about to say,
for
God bless
Micah.
you.
No,
Well,
that's for Micah.
I thought you said that is for Micah. I was like, who the hell is Micah?
Baylor coming into the game at 1-3. They lost to Texas last week, 38-6. They also lost to Utah, 20-13, and they lost to Texas State, 42-31. Their lone win came against LIU, and it was 30-7.
I remember that Utah game.
We all
We were sitting there at Suds,
Backdoor cover, man.
Boise, Idaho.
Suds waiting for my ID back.
Backdoor cover.
The edges light up.
But I think, honestly, keys to the game this week, stop the run. It's clear. We can stop the pass. We really didn't get burned other than over the middle to that one that was 34, the tight end.
Yeah, that was so frustrating, man. Everything was in between the hashes, and we just couldn't figure it out.
Lock up between the hashes and stop the run. I honestly don't see a reason why we don't beat the brakes off of Baylor.
Yeah, The only argument I'll make for that is I could very easily see this being a really low-scoring game.
I could see it's like a Boise type game.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't classify that as beat the brakes off of them, but yes, I agree with you.
Well, coming into this week, I believe when I looked earlier, we were minus 11.
I think it's
I
still
think
at
it was
minus
11
11.
and a half this morning
11
when I
and a half.
checked.
Let's do a double check here real quick for live.
Pretty sure it's
Whose
minus
line
11.
is it anyways?
Whose line is it anyway?
Yeah. Sorry, part my take.
I got 11 and a half with an over under 55.
55.
Opened at 56 and a half and opened at
I was
11.
going to say, I might take the under on that one.
I mean, if our defense plays well, it could be like I could see like a 28-7 game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Along those lines.
3 touchdowns?
We get more than 3 touchdowns. If we put up that many points against, if we put what we
No,
put
no,
up,
I'm saying we win by 3 touchdowns. You think it's a...
I think it's very possible.
I'm gonna give you 4. I'll give you 14.
Brandon's on minus 21.
I'll give you. Yeah, you got. I'll give you 2 touchdowns. I think 2 touchdowns is the safe. I think aggressive. We could get up to 4. That's aggressive, but I think on the more conservative side of things, it'll be 1 to 2 touchdowns.
I think
Might be a 17 deal.
Yeah, that's fair. I think one big thing is just going to be clock management and not getting too excited being at home for the first game. Like, let's just limit the mistakes, play smart, limit the penalties. We play well at home. Everyone knows that. They know that. Baylor's going to want to come in and beat us because they don't want to start the season 1-5 and lose to the new team. They don't want to be the first team to give up a win to the new team. So they'll be motivated. They'll be ready to go. And I feel like just like any other week in the Big 12, anyone's capable of winning. So just keep an eye out for it. But I think all in all, like, we set ourselves up really good coming in for this week.
We're fine.
We're fine.
We're fine.
Yeah, everyone's overthinking it.
We're fine.
I also really hope that Cincy, BYU, and Houston all lose this weekend so that we can make a claim if we win this game.
Well,
You know?
since he plays BYU, so one of the two of them is going to win.
Oh, dang it. That's right. Yeah. Never mind.
But they would
That's-
be beating
that's-
each other.
that's
It doesn't
false.
count.
New
Yeah.
members versus new members doesn't count.
That's
And,
and
that shouldn't
Houston
count.
has
Houston's playing Texas
yeah,
Tech.
yeah. So Texas Tech can win that game. I
They're
know
favored
Texas
by
Tech
10.
is bad, and that's with their backup quarterback. Because what's his name?
He's out.
Yeah.
Shook. That pisses me off. This guy GH. Hate it. Anyways, sorry, off topic.
That's okay. Side note, concessions on Saturday.
I'm not even gonna bother.
You're not going to try?
No,
I ain't
really,
either.
I really don't. Think. Didn't I say? I said I was. I can't remember. I either said I wasn't gonna get anything at Villanova or after the Villanova game. I'm not gonna get anything.
You said after Villanova.
Okay, then yeah. Then I'm sticking my
All
ground.
right. I'm
and,
gonna
kidding.
venture in and take a look.
Unless I'm like absolutely starving, then I might try to find Magoo's just because I know it's safe unless
That's
they're
a
out
safe
of tenders.
Or they could be out of tenders.
I can guarantee you guys I will not be trying for concessions on Saturday.
Good. So that means I have to be the guinea pig that asks for the Caesar wrap just to get disappointed because it's usually you.
And it is me.
Oh, I can go ask.
You know what's gonna suck is when I like order food on Saturday at work, and like they're saying, "Oh, sorry, we're out of that."
It's just
Just
something
feel like
in the
a game
air.
day.
I'm just gonna be like back like we never left.
Anything else for Saturday?
Tears.
Get in, get
I
out.
feel you there.
Get in, win, get out.
Get in, win, get out.
Justin, you're gonna be the leading dude with minutes at FBC Morgan Stadium.
Yeah, but I'm not proud of that. I want my boys there.
Aw. He
I was
almost,
afraid I was
meant
gonna,
that.
we didn't know Brandon was going until yesterday.
Yeah, I found out late yesterday.
I'm like, man, I'm like the Squidward meme or whatever, like sitting there just sad, nobody around.
You're the Squidward meme.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad
You're
I'm there.
the Squidward
I'm glad
meme.
I'm there, but I'm all
Excuse me.
alone.
That's
I will be honest though. At the end of the Villanova game, it was pretty fun sitting in our section alone. Like I was vibing.
well, there's nobody else in the stadium.
I'm in my
either.
happy place. I'm talking to our boy in the row in front of us. Just
Friend of the program.
friend of the program.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Before we move on, though, last thing. This is the very last thing about Saturday. Students, don't leave. Stay there the whole game.
Yeah.
If not, I'm going to be disappointed. And you don't want me disappointed.
The only excuse to leave the game early if you're a student is heat exhaustion.
Medical
the
emergencies
So I
back-
only.
see
In the
like
back
the
of an
guy that got
ambulance.
wheeled down from the opener in the gurney from the top of 205 or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
the
the only
chair.
reason.
They were not easy with him either. Like,
No,
they were boom, boom.
We didn't get Schaefer there with that medical transport. Dude of the week.
Dude of the week. All right, so I was looking at the stats, and I think I won on Twitter.
I
However,
calculated all of it. U.S. government won because of Instagram.
we had more votes for the U.S. government. So, Brandon, congratulations on winning Dude of the Week.
I will take my second win of the year.
Or the year,
It's
yeah.
your second one.
So,
Wait, 2, 1, and 1?
yeah.
Or do you have 2?
I have
1, 2, and 1. I'm
Well, how many wins do you have? That's
Yeah,
all.
which one wins?
You have one. I think I have one too.
Okay, so I got 2.
Or no? Oh no, because we tied one. We
Yeah.
tied one.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, only got one win.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Kick
My
us off.
first.
You want to start or you want to end it?
I'll start. I got to put this in my notes though that I got to win here this week. Shout out U.S. government for losing a plane.
And asking the citizens.
And asking the citizens to find it, and the guy that posted it on Facebook Marketplace and did not reply to my DM. So this is going to be the first week that I think I have a pretty, I'm not going to say not funny, but like a more serious dude of the week. It's still fun. It would be the first time I think one of us picked a player.
Okay.
My dude of the week, actually, I was going back and forth with today because I was like, I've had a couple interactions this week where this could have been a dude of the week, but he just didn't sell me on it. And I was sitting at work today. I opened up Instagram. I saw Lee Hunter talking in the press conference. You guys see this?
Yep.
You saw it?
I saw it.
I did not see this.
I saw Lee Hunter talking in the press conference, and the second I listened to the sound bite, I was, make that 2. So for my dude of the week, again, just looking for someone with the team. I didn't have anyone during the week that was like sticking out. So Lee Hunter, my dude of the week. If you did not see on Instagram today, they were asking him, how do we feel? Are we still going to compete? How do we feel about the team? And his response, we got dogs on the team.
Dogs.
Dog. Which we already know RJ Harvey's a dog. But everyone, he said, from the quarterbacks to the receivers to the coaches to Terry to the president, certified
Dogs.
So for that reason, Lee Hunter, dog of the week.
Dog of the week.
Dog of
I
the week.
like that.
That's nice.
Must
All
be a
right.
friend of the program because we should have a dog counter the amount of times we say that word on this, on this show.
It's a lot of editing work.
Yeah.
We say that shit a lot.
Josh, you want to go next?
I'll go next. All right. So my dude of the week. So this is actually very interesting, and I'm going to pull it up here on Twitter. As you may know, I am a big fan of the Tampa Bay Rays. So here's what's happening. They're making the postseason. They've already clinched. This is the last week of baseball, and then the playoffs start. So October baseball is always great. My dude of the week is going to be the Tampa Bay Rays marketing department.
Okay.
Here is why.
I thought you were going to say Wander Franco.
I can give you 14 reasons why not. Anyway, obviously playoffs are coming up. So October baseball, it's big. Tampa Bay got a real shot this year despite all the injuries, all that fun stuff. What they're offering, there are 2 tattoo parlors in the St. Pete area. They're called Poison Ivy Inc. They are offering for the first 50 people to go to their locations a free tattoo of any of these logos that are Tampa Bay related, whether it be the Sunburst, the Ray, the classic Devil Rays logo, or just the normal Tampa Bay logo. You can get a free permanent, this isn't a temporary, this is an actual tattoo to show your fandom. And I think that's incredible. Because when have you ever heard of a professional sports team offering for, you see it all the time with fans who are just nuts that go and get these tattoos saying, 2024 Super Bowl champs or whatever. Yeah. But the team is actively endorsing this and saying, you can get a free tattoo if you show your fandom. That's diehard. That's awesome. Legendary. Dude of the week. Tampa Bay Rays marketing department.
Which one are you picking?
Oh, I ain't get a tattoo.
I mean, if you were to get one, which one of those 4 are you picking?
I'm stuck between this one.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to go with bottom left.
It's this one or it's going to be this one because that does have a classic feel to it too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But if I had to pick, gun to my head, I would go with this one. The black, for our listeners, it's the black classic Tampa Bay Devil Rays logo. It's just, again, black and white. And if I think that would look good on like a forearm or something. Like that would just be legendary.
I would actually if any of the Pittsburgh teams did that, I would actually consider flying to Pittsburgh
To do that?
Because that's I'm not shy to tattoos. I have 2 of them, so
Yes.
absolutely do that.
I don't have any tattoos, at least now at this moment. So that
have
probably
one.
I mean, that probably wouldn't be a good first one. I don't know about that.
You gotta mix that in with like a sleeve or something. You can't have that as like a stamp.
But if I did have tattoos, I would 100% have committed to this. So, Dude of the Week, Tampa Bay Rays Marketing Department.
Nice.
I like that. All right, I'll round us off. My dude of the week. My dude of the week is basically just like the funniest thing I see on Twitter every week. Because I run all our socials, so I'm like on Twitter a lot, I guess. On Saturday, I don't know if you can show this clip or not. If we want to show this, I know. Because
I'm gonna pull it up. I'm pulling it up.
I called dibs on this immediately the second I saw it. Midday Saturday. It came in the Houston game. You probably already know what I'm talking about if you saw it. My dude of the week is Houston's starting right tackle. I assume he's their starting right tackle. This man,
If he's doing that, I don't know if he's the starter.
projectile vomited. Okay, I have so many different routes to go with this. First off,
Wait for it.
wait for it. I'm gonna wait for the video to go again
restart here.
because you have to see this.
Okay, there's the play.
There's the
It's
play.
a simple pass to
Good
the
pass.
left. All right, there it
This
is.
man, that is so much puke that came out of that man's mouth. I mean, he's walking up to the line of scrimmage, just projectiling everywhere, and then lined up like nothing happened. And we've seen it before. We've seen people puke on football fields before. I've never seen that like that. And then imagine being the... I can't think of a better intimidation tactic than that. Imagine the D-end. I ain't hitting that guy.
I ain't touching him. Keep my hands up.
Like, look at him. He went straight for the right guard because he didn't want to touch the right tackle.
Tackle's not doing anything.
He said no. I'm out. So I saw that immediately. I mean, that's football guy of the week if I've ever seen it. I mean, he just like, he projectiled, he looked up to the heavens, took a deep breath, and got set. So... Houston right tackle. They're a terrible football team, but man, that's a dude right there.
And we're gonna see him. What if he does in Orlando?
No, the funniest part was I think the timestamp on this was like the third quarter with like 11 minutes left.
They just come
They
out
just
of
come out at halftime. It could have easily been their first offensive drive. Like, what did he eat at halftime that made that happen? It couldn't have been fatigue.
There was no food there. That's all I could see it.
Dude, I've watched this clip. I hate watching people throw up. I've watched this clip a million times. So puke warning if you're watching.
It doesn't even look like puke. It looks like he's spitting the water out of his mouth.
It's funnier each time you watch it. I need one more. I got one. Get one more.
Oh my god, it's so bad. So, shout out to him, dude of the week. I dibsed it immediately. That was like...
To recap, dudes of the week: Lee Hunter, dog, Tampa Bay Rays marketing tattoo, and Houston right tackle puke.
Just puking.
We on the picks?
We're on the
We're on the picks.
We're on the picks.
Man.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I had a really good week last week.
I had a great week.
I had my first bad week, we'll
That's-
call it,
it's
and it
coming
was
around.
technically 500. So,
Oh.
Allow me to. Oh wait, it was 500.
well, if
Oh,
it
shut
pushes
the
a
hell up,
win,
man.
which it pushes a
3.
win, it's 500.
That's 3. Oh, we're getting close.
What a line.
What a line. Yeah, if it pushes a win, then yes, 500.
I mean, for us, that's better than what you've been doing recently. Because
I mean,
you've
I'm
been
fine with it.
on a
If that's
tear.
my bad week, I'm up for a great year.
We're in trouble, Brandon. We are in trouble.
No, I'll make it up ground. I had a good week last week.
All right. I mean, I had a great week too. So
I'll go first. Last week, my biggest card to date for this season, I went 6. So do a little counting real quick. 6, 2, and 1. Solid week.
we had very similar weeks.
We did. We'll just go ahead and get this one out of the way. Colorado plus 21. Wasn't there.
I think that's an L for all of us.
Should not have
That's
listened
an
to
L
you
across
guys.
the
That was
board.
bad.
Also, Georgia UAB under 53. UAB surprisingly scored 2 touchdowns, so that didn't help out that. And then the push. Oh, this was an ugly push. Notre Dame plus 3 in Ohio State.
I'm gonna go
yeah.
out and say that's a bad beat. And
That's
it was a
terrible.
push.
Yeah, that right there could be bad beat of the year. That's up there for it.
10 guys on the field
10 guys on the field
For 2 plays.
for 2 plays.
Now, granted, I didn't have NC State on this card. We're not going to revisit it. Friday night was miserable.
Oof.
Yeah, still not over.
Their scrawny ass quarterback flexing cost you that line.
Virginia is dead to me. And so is NC State, for that matter. My winners for the week, this one was a sweat. wild game. Clemson, FSU covered -2 over Clemson in overtime. The wagon stays hot. I've found my Oregon State. My Oregon State is Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State covering again, -6 over Eastern Michigan. LSU Arkansas over 55.5. Close game, came down to the end. Washington State outright winner over Oregon State +2.5. USC Arizona State over 62 easy. And a little bit of a sweat, Oklahoma -11.5 over Cincy.
That was a big sweat.
Yeah.
Sad beaver noise.
So that moves me to 18-3-1 on the season.
18-3-1.
Yep.
That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't
You
make
have
any.
3 losses.
You
had
mean
like 6
18-13 and 1?
18-13
Okay. Okay. I was
Yes.
like, God damn.
Imagine.
I was like, you had 6 last week or something. All right, I'll go next. Like I said, first kind of bad week, but we're gonna call it 500. I went 3-4-1.
That ain't 500.
A push is a win.
All right.
A push is a win.
All right.
And it was a bad beat too. Anyways, so we'll go with the losses first. SMU TCU over 63.5. That game did not get going until late, so that didn't hit. BYU +9.5. They lost by 11. That line was looking good for most of the game, but just came up short.
Heard it.
Huh?
I
Heard the
tape.
tape. Sad Beaver noise. Oregon State -2.5 against Wazoo.
What is a sad beaver?
I know. What is
don't
a
know.
sad beaver sound?
I'm not even
Can
going
we
to
hear
attempt it. It's some kind of clicking or something. I don't know, dude.
Clicking. That's a platypus.
Same
Phineas and
family.
Ferb reboot, by the way. Phineas and Ferb's coming back.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm still here for the Office reboot.
And then my last beat, Brandon touched on it already. Colorado +21. Just not going to talk about that. My push, Notre Dame +3 against Ohio State.
Bad beat.
Just bad beat. 10 guys on the field. Terrible last drive. Walk-off touchdown. And they didn't need to kick the extra point. It should have covered.
Well, it's because they went back and put 1 second on the
Yeah.
clock.
No, there was not 1 second on the clock. They screwed
rough.
me. Anyways, my 3 winners, we got Rutgers +31.5 against Michigan. That's just too many points. Oklahoma -11.5 against Cincy. Oklahoma did not look good in that game.
No,
Dylan
they
Gabriel
didn't.
seeing ghosts, but they covered. So, and then UNC -7.5 against Pitt. That one was super, super easy. So that brings my season total to 25, 11, and 1.
Not bad.
Doing all
Make
right.
it up
Not
round.
bad. Yeah,
Hey,
I'm
if
picking
people
up.
listen to these plays all season. You're up.
You're up
They're
a
doing good.
I'm up 5 units. How many are you up?
Trying to do math in my head real quick. Sorry, bad podcasting. 14 games above 500. So
14 plus 5, so 19.
yeah, I'd say somewhere around like 11 units.
11.
Yeah.
I'm 19 and 13 overall. That's after this week. Math.
I'd say like 4 units.
Like
'cause
4, yeah.
You got to take some away because like the units cost
Plus
more.
money.
So. Plus money.
It's
We're all
me.
above 500. That's crazy.
That is wild.
I mean, we're at
at
week
us.
5 now. That's
Yeah.
Look at
nuts.
us.
A $10 better would be up about $200 off these, roughly.
Something like that.
Nice. If you're going to gamble, do so responsibly.
Not gambling advice.
Yeah, not gambling advice at all. Don't listen to us, idiots. All right, so I had a very good week as well. Similar to Brandon, I went 6-2. We'll start off with the losers. Colorado +21.
Tough.
Yeah, it was kind of a shit show. It was
Yeah.
kind of terrible. So we'll just, we already covered that. That's just terrible. Boise State, what are we doing, man? -7 versus San Diego State. They won, but only by 3. Come on, man. Boise State didn't
might
cover.
As well join the Big Ten next year.
Might as well. But those were my only 2 losers. The rest of them were winners. Florida State -2 versus Clemson in overtime. That was a great ending to that game. Oklahoma -11.5 versus Cincy. No, that was a sweater. Alabama -7 versus Ole Miss. That was a good game as well.
Yes.
But Alabama came across to win. I had UAB versus UGA Bulldogs over 53.5. That covered. Penn State -14.5 versus Iowa. That was there. It is. The over has
over.
cashed.
Club.
That
The
corner hasn't
over
fallen yet.
has
We've
cashed.
made history.
We had made history on the Dudes on the Mall podcast with flag drops. I don't know.
Drops. Falls.
Falls. That sounds wrong.
I don't know.
We'll figure it
We'll
out.
figure it out.
Anyway, Penn State -14.5 versus Iowa. That was just easy. I mean, white out. You're not going to come in and lose by, or you're not going to come in and come within 2 touchdowns. I'm sorry. All right, and the last one I have here, Charlotte +28 versus Florida. How about that, Gator fans? Your boys can't even cover.
It's a great pick.
That's a great pick. I mean, Florida didn't even score 28 points.
No.
So
And they moved up in the rankings this week, didn't they?
Just
think-
wild.
I think so.
Wild.
I'd be worried.
SEC bias.
But, yeah, there's that. Those are my picks, and the perfect parlay lost. What's new?
No recap, just what's new.
Well, is it raining? Sounds like it's raining.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
pouring.
Pouring.
Oh, I can hear it. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Get it all out now.
Get it all out now.
On to this week. First, we're going to ride the wagon. We're going to stay with it. Jacksonville State. Ride
I
or
almost
die.
took it. That line is too easy.
Why would you not?
5.5
Yeah.
over Sam Houston. Unless someone got hurt, which I didn't do any research or anything. I'm just ride or die.
do it.
Can't
Big
imagine. Doesn't
Jacksonville
matter.
State guy, minus 5.5. Next, actually both of these teams are dead to me, but I had to take one because the line was too good after watching what happened this past weekend. I'm taking Louisville minus 3 over NC State.
Why are you pissed?
Why would you take Louisville? Why?
Because you have NC State?
Well, I have NC State, but
I think
Louisville's
it's
also a
principle.
terrible city.
Well, yeah. Oh, it's a principle thing.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
talking about
a-
principles.
NC State.
It's a values thing. I thought I raised you better.
I should have just gone no action, but it was a really good line.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Next, too many points. USC Colorado under 73.5.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. The only
Way
reason
under.
that I could see that hitting is because USC's defense is like probably going to get exposed,
Yeah.
but
Still way under.
that's a lot of points.
Next, not enough points. Oregon minus 26 over Stanford.
Ooh, you got 26?
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
27.
Oh, nice.
All right, here we go.
Next, this is off principle, and I know Justin's taking it, so I also took it.
Hell yeah.
Iowa State plus
Yes,
20
sir.
over Oklahoma.
Best game of the year.
Oh, I got that as well. Let's
My
go.
favorite bet of the year.
It's that week again. And then my last pick, BYU minus 2.5 over Cincy.
Nice.
All right.
All right. Oh, you got 2.5 for that? Okay, here we go.
Justin,
Five.
way over.
I'm gonna leave it next time.
We
I'll
are
set
way
it at
over.
4.5.
Yep. What did you say? You got BYU at 2.5?
2.5,
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. How many picks did you have? 6?
6.
Okay.
Went a little conservative
little
this week
smaller
on
week
us.
for
Yeah.
Brandon.
I didn't see too many things I liked.
Yeah, I was struggling a little bit. But I have 8 plays myself. We'll start with the duplicates. BYU minus 2.5 against Cincy. Cincy did not look great this past week against Oklahoma, and it's at BYU. So, and it's a late Friday game. It's like 10:15 kickoff Eastern or something. So, I like that a lot. And then you had Oregon minus 26. I like that a lot. Stanford, arguably, probably one of the worst teams in college football.
It's very, very
So,
possible.
Yeah. And then my last duplicate was the favorite bet of the year. I don't think Iowa State's a good team, but I'm taking them plus 20. That's my too many points of the week. It's the same every year. They cover every year. And Oklahoma, while they are at home, Cincy looked bad, and they didn't beat Cincy by 20. So I like it a lot. Moving on, 5 more plays. I got Utah plus 3 against Oregon State. I'm going against the Beavs.
Wow.
I'm going against the Beavs.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I don't know.
He needs
I
a new
think
team.
the only reason The only reason I'm going against the Beavs is because I think this line is taking into account no Cam Rising,
And
and
you think
Cam
Cam
Rising
Rising-
warmed up last week,
You think he plays?
so I think there's a good chance he plays. If Cam Rising plays, I think Utah should be. I mean, Utah's top 10 team.
And they haven't had their starting quarterback
Right,
for 4
that's what
weeks.
I'm
Yeah.
saying. So if Cam Rising plays, they should not be dogs in this game. Moving on, I'm taking Syracuse plus 7 against Clemson at home. Clemson coming off, they have 2 losses now, and
It was a
Syracuse
heartbreaking loss.
Syracuse is 4-0, quietly 4-0, and a good football team. So plus 7. We'll take Notre Dame Duke. I'm gonna go with the over 50.5.
I like that.
Game day's going there. Slow game for Notre Dame last week. I just see him wanting to bounce back and putting points up. And I love Duke's offense with Riley Leonard. So moving on, going to take another over. We're going to go West Virginia and TCU over 51. That's a pretty low line for me. Like you said earlier, I think West Virginia is a better team than people are giving them credit for. So I like that over a lot. And then I might have found my new Oregon State this year. I've only taken them once, but I love them. They cracked into the top 25 this week. Give me Fresno State minus 24.5 against Nevada.
Wow.
At home.
Nice.
At home, and they're newly ranked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're coming out guns a-blazing. And
I'm
Mikey
actually
Keene.
shocked that Fresno State's ranked and Syracuse isn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
that's wild.
shocking, but That's the Mikey Keene effect.
The Mikey Keene effect.
All right, so those are my 8 plays for the week, I think. Yeah, I got them all. Got it.
Shout out, Mikey. All right, so I've also got 8 plays and a perfect parlay. We'll start with Utah +3 versus Oregon State. I always go against the Beavs despite you. But that's why I was shocked.
They're not my team. My team changes every year.
That's why I was shocked. I mean, it was your team up until now.
Well, that was my mistake, was thinking that Oregon State was still my team this year. I should have known better that you can't stick with the same team.
Gotcha.
You have to find a new one every year.
So I went with Utah +3. Virginia is dead to you, so I went with Boston College -3 against Virginia.
Good pick.
Nice.
Again, Tommy C and a lot of other familiar faces. Ryan O'Keefe. I think they could beat them by at least 3 points. Georgia Auburn. Their over is only 47.
Under.
I went over.
Oof, bad pick.
Really?
Yeah, dude, have you seen their previous 5 games?
I just thought
Brandon used to take their under every year just because.
I just think 47 is a little low.
It is low. I'll give you
Low
that.
for a reason.
It's
I'm going over. I mean, this is my first year on the pod
your plays,
picking
we'll
this.
look
Yeah.
up the stats.
All right.
I got the Bucks game on, so you got to pull it up.
Oh, nice.
So
Got you.
Michigan, Nebraska over 41. I think Michigan can do it by themselves.
They haven't scored over 40 the whole
Yeah,
year.
I was going to
But
say. that's why
they're playing Nebraska. They're playing Nebraska.
playing a dangerous game.
Anyway, with our friends out west in Boise State.
By the way, the Georgia-Auburn line is down to 47, if you want to.
I have 47.
Oh, I thought you said half. Sorry.
No, I said 47.
Okay, sorry.
I got over 47. Boise State +2.5 versus Memphis. All right, tell me the stat.
Sorry, yeah, I got it. Their last 5 matchups they play every year. Their last 5 matchups are 1-4 for the over.
What was the highest over set?
52, and that year they scored 37. So
2-4, baby.
What's been the lowest
2-4,
scoring?
baby.
lowest scoring.
It's got to be like a 7-0.
I think no. Georgia has won all 5 and has put up at least 21 in all of them.
Auburn just can't score.
Yeah, Auburn
Give me
can't
the
score.
over.
Auburn's
Give me the
put up
over.
max 14. The lowest scoring looks like 27-6.
All right.
47. Give me the over. Anyway, friends out west, Boise State +2.5 versus Memphis. Again, this is just a nice pick because they were so nice to us.
Okay.
Ole Miss +2.5 versus LSU.
Wow.
I think they could win outright.
I like that actually a lot. Good bounce back game.
Iowa
At home,
State,
right?
yeah, at home.
Yeah.
Iowa State +20 versus Oklahoma. Got to ride that wave.
Great pick.
Michigan State versus Iowa under 36.5.
That is going to be an
Dude,
ugly football
Michigan
game.
It's
State is
terri-
a bad.
That's
football team.
that's Broncos and Bears next week.
Yeah.
That's that game of this week. But then there's a perfect parlay +12.59. NC State +3 versus Louisville. BYU -2.5 versus Cincinnati. I have actually Notre Dame -5.5 versus Duke.
Okay.
And then the last leg, Alabama, Mississippi State over 48.5. I'm Nick Saban. I'm still waiting on that dark magic, and it's going to come this week. And if it doesn't come this
I
week,
don't know if it will. Jalen.
it's going to
Jalen
come next
Milroe.
week. It's going to come. If it doesn't come this week, it's coming next week. So perfect parlay +12.59, 4 legs. NC State +3 versus Louisville. BYU -2.5 versus Cincy. Notre Dame -5.5 versus Duke. Alabama, Mississippi State over 48.5.
Well, it's game week. Big 12 opener this weekend. 1.5 of us will be there. I think that checks out.
1.5 of us. Yeah.
I got mad. I was
That
mad
checks out.
confused for a second.
No, that checks out.
Math checks.
The math is math.
The math is mathing.
Minus 11.5 over under 55 as of what are we about right now on my watch, Dad? About 7:30.
7:40.
7:40.
Okay. For our friends out in Boise, 1:30 local kick. 3:30 here Eastern on FS1. Go Knights, charge on.
Charge on.
Charge on.